On a portion of ex-Atlantic coastline tracks at the Osceola Polk Line road crossing just north of Laufman, Florida, lies the quiet CSX Carter subdivision. Once a busy main line hosting various intermodal, autorack, and a plethora of other trains to northern Florida and points beyond, the line today is a shadow of its former self. After the sale of the line from Point Siena to DeLand to the Florida Department of Transportation in 2011 to create the Sunrail commuter service, most of the traffic on the line was rerouted elsewhere to make room for the new commuter service. What remained was only the traffic destined for the Orlando region, effectively eliminating all through traffic on the line. Though traffic levels may be lacking, a staple train that one can find on the line are coal trains bound for the Stanton Energy Center, located about 8 miles east of the Orlando International Airport. Opened in 1987, the Curtis H. Stanton Energy Center has served the Sunshine State for nearly 4 decades, bringing vital electricity to the region. Owned and operated by the Orlando Utilities Commission, or OUC for short, the plant uses a wide range of resources to produce energy ranging from coal, natural gas, landfill gas, and solar. When the plant opened in 1987, a 17-mile-long spur was built from the main line in Taft all the way to the plant to deliver coal via unit trains to Unit 1, and 9 years later when Unit 2 was built. Traffic on the spur at its peak in the mid to late 1990s saw up to 5 to 7 coal trains per week down to the plant from the Appalachians and the Kentucky coal basins. As other methods of cleaner energy became slowly implemented and popularized at the plant, coal traffic in the year of 2026 has dwindled down to merely 1 or 2 coal trains per week, with the goal of ending the need of coal service by 2027 with the retirement of both Units 1 and 2 in favor of natural gas. With coal service to the plant running on borrowed time, we've staked out one early sunny morning after getting word that a coal train bound for the power plant had passed the Folkston, Georgia rail cam the previous day. Tuning in to the radio, the JA dispatcher would have a lot on their hands this morning before we would see our coal train. The dispatcher would hold our coal train, CO40 at Lakeland Junction, about 30 miles west of where we are in Laufman, until the line ahead of it cleared up before allowing train M457, a daily mixed freight to Taft Yard in Orlando, to overtake it. Knowing that M457 would be up first before the coal train, we would stake out a spot at Wooten Road a little further north up the line to get the train coming around a sweeping curve. An old milepost marker from the Atlantic coastline days would remain, as a nice duo of rebuilt EMD SD70 ACs would be on the point of today's train, wasting no time on the final stretch to Taft Yard in Orlando from Rice Yard in Waycross, Georgia. M457 is really 3 trains combined into one if we were to think outside of the railroad's PSR, or precision scheduled railroading. The train consists of rock loads scattered throughout the train, followed by miscellaneous freight traffic for the greater Orlando region, and then a long section of auto racks full of new automobiles bound for the dealerships in the area. As such, trains like these can at times be exceedingly long, with today's train being no different at just under 9,000 feet long. We would move back about a mile south to the Osceola Polk Line road crossing, as our coal train would be following closely behind M457. Calling out signals over the radio, the crew would have permission to enter the CFRC at Point Siena all the way to Taft before diverging onto the spur east to the plant. It would take only 30 minutes before the crew on board our coal train, CO40, to call out clear at Loftman Holdout and the defect detector to broadcast the readout, signifying its arrival.
CSX detector, milepost 819.6, no defects. Repeat, no defects. Total axles 440. Detector out.
CSX CO40 runs as needed from Evansville, Indiana to the Stanton Energy Center in Orlando, Florida. At just over 6,000 feet long and weighing over 16,000 tons, the two GE Evolution Series GEVO locomotives leading the train will be working hard keeping this train at speed. Fighting the morning northbound Orlando commuter traffic on Interstate 4, we would just barely beat the train to a spot 3 miles west of Taft on the Stanton Spur off the CFRC corridor. Here, as the tracks straighten out, trains can speed up to 25 miles per hour once clearing the 10 mile per hour restriction on the Y when entering the spur from the main line. Chasing the train would once again prove to be difficult, as poorly timed traffic lights would hold us up from entering the freeway. Once underway, however, overtaking the train wouldn't be too difficult, given the speed limit for trains on the spur. For our final spot on the short chase, we would end up choosing the Aerospace Parkway road crossing, as it would give us a direct open view of the cooling towers at the power plant, along with an open field for a better view of the train. A large buildup of coal dust on the tracks is evident of the countless years that coal traffic has operated on the spur. The silence from the lack of cars traveling on the road would soon be interrupted, however, as the sound of heavy loaded coal hoppers rolling on jointed rail would alert us as the train rounded the corner and began to slowly make its final stretch to the power plant. And as the rear of CSX train CO40 crawls off into the distance towards the Stanton Energy Center, this will mark the end of our short little adventure out here on the Stanton Spur. The end of an era is truly near, as all traffic on the spur will cease by the year 2027. And while it is only April of 2026, what once was a common train and near daily occurrence to see in the Orlando region will soon become a thing of the past. Until then, however, it is only a matter of time before the final coal train traverses this line to the plant, marking the end of an era. I would like to thank each and every one of you if you've made it to the end of this video. I greatly appreciate it. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing, as that would greatly help out the channel. Until then, however, we'll see you next time out here on the High Iron.